Hello and welcome to another episode of Coach's Commentary. I'm going to be reviewing the game between the Kolkata Knight Riders and the Royal Challengers Bangalore. The Knight Riders came back to their den last night, and what an atmosphere it was. It normally is at Eden Gardens. Terrific atmosphere, fantastic crowd, and the buzz that you get to see at Eden Gardens, you don't get to see anywhere else, of course. To add to all that was the presence of Shah Rukh Khan as well. Shah Rukh Khan does add that extra fist to the proceedings when he's around, and he must have thoroughly enjoyed the performance put up by the Knight Riders. Now, getting back to cricket, the Royal Challengers Bangalore won the toss and decided to field first. It looked like it was a good decision because there was a little bit of moisture on the surface. There's a little bit of jagging happening around for the fast bowlers. And the Bangalore bowlers picked up wickets as well. First up, of course, Ellis was brilliant. He picked up wickets quickly enough and straight away pegged the Knight Riders back. But Gurbaz was going hammer on tongs from the other end. He was looking to be aggressive, and that is the right way to go about in a T20 format. But the wickets falling around him did not help the cause of the Knight Riders until before everyone felt that Knight Riders had completely lost the plot when they had lost half the side for just about nothing. But then walked out Shardul Thakur, nicknamed the Lord, and he probably wanted to show that why that nickname suits him. He walked out, lauded over the Eden Gardens, and then smashed the ball all over the park. And the confidence with which he played those shots was something phenomenal. Shardul Thakur, of course, is capable of batting well enough. He's shown that in international cricket, but last night was a knock that would perhaps be etched in memories of those who watched live and those who also watched in the comfort of their living rooms. His partnership with Rinku Singh was worth 103, and it came almost in the blink of an eye when you consider the way the Calcutta Knight Riders were batting until these two got together. It was more like an infection. Shardul Thakur started hitting boundaries left, right, and center, and then suddenly Rinku Singh picked up the infection from Shardul Thakur and he followed suit. The net result was that their partnership enabled the Kolkata Knight Riders to go past the 200 mark. Who would have thought that they'll do that? Even at the end of the 15 over mark, nobody would have felt that Knight Riders will go anywhere close to 200. But that's how this game changes. It changes very quickly. T20 format can be very dicey and it can change in the blink of an eye. Be that as it may, the thing was that the Knight Riders had really put up a stiff target for the RCB. RCB has a lot of heavy weights in their batting lineup. They have Faf du Plessis, Virat Kohli, Dinesh Karthik, and then you have Maxwell. Yes, that's a star-studded batting lineup. But before I get on to the Bangalore innings, I'd like to talk about Faf du Plessis. It was interesting that he chose to use more of the faster bowlers when they fielded first. Yes, the success of Ellis would have tempted that move from him. But in all, just about 7 overs was what he made his spinners bowl, which was really a bit of a surprise. Yes, they do not have the mystery variety of bowlers that the Knight Riders have in their lineup, but still, Eden Gardens has always been a venue where the spinners had something in it for them. But banking on the medium paces obviously was something that he felt was worthwhile given the early success they had, as I said before. But to completely rely on fast bowlers, especially who are not crafty enough to try and vary the pace, is going to be a bit of a problem because Akash Deep and then Mohammad Siraj, all of them proved to be expensive. And Shahbaz Ahmed just was content with 1 over last night because the skipper did not give him more than 1 over. And the chase obviously had to be engineered by the captain himself first up because he's played some fantastic knocks for his franchises, be it the Chennai Super Kings or the Royal Challengers Bangalore. But last night was really a challenge for the big weights in the RCB batting lineup. What happened was that they started off with great intent. Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis put on runs quickly in the first 4 overs. And then when the spinners started getting into the act, things changed completely. Sunil Narin started off with the wicket of Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli, for some reason, was preferring to play more on the onside. And in trying to do so, he ended up playing a bit outside the line of the delivery that Sunil Narin bowled him, and he was castled. And then Varun Chakravarti picked up the cue from Sunil Narine. Both these mystery spinners really ensured that the RCB was nowhere close to the target that the Knight Riders had set for them, and they picked up wickets quickly enough. And the impact player, Suyash Sharma, backed up the primary spinners of the Knight Riders really well, as much as these two did extraordinarily well. The surprise package, Suyash Sharma, did extraordinarily well too. He picked up a couple of wickets and then he did not concede too many runs. And they have given the entire KKR management the confidence that these two spinners now have a backup. And the hunt that the three can resort to in the future games will obviously be something that everybody look forward to. Overall, one must say that the chase from RCB was not anywhere close to what they felt it might have been, given the strong batting lineup that the RCB side had. But when you're chasing a target of 200 plus, it doesn't matter what kind of high quality players you have. It's the numbers that creates the pressure, and it's the pressure that produces harakiri when a side is chasing. So the thing is that the Knight Riders have started off their campaign when they got back home in a fantastic manner, and I'm sure they'll be delighted with the way they've changed things around after suffering a reverse in the first game. But again, as I say, it's early days, and they need to ensure that they also, like Chennai Super Kings, go on to win as many matches as they can at home, because that is where they can play to their strengths. They can make the maximum use of the three spinners that they have. Yes, let's not forget that Shakib Al Hassan is not going to be available for them. He's opted out of this edition of the IPL. But Suyash Sharma is filled in nicely. He's picked up wickets. He's young and raring to go. And most importantly, he will not have any baggage at all. He'll be receptive to ideas, and he will look to enjoy himself. And that was evident last night too. When he walked out onto the field, he was keen to soak in the atmosphere. He was looking forward to enjoying the night at Eden Gardens. And boy, did he enjoy it at all. Yes, of course, he did extraordinarily well. And nothing tastes better for a young man playing his first game when his side goes on to win, and he has contributed to it. Yes, in the end, what was the difference in last night's game? Of course, the performance of Shardul Thakur as a batter, which obviously in a way would have surprised a lot of people, but yet in a way a lot of people would have expected him to get a few runs, but not as quickly and not as many as he did in that short span of time. His partnership with Rinku Singh was obviously the game changer. The other thing that was a game changer was the manner in which the three spinners of the Knight Riders operated, and ensured that the RCB got nowhere close to the target set by KKR. Uh, RCB needs to relook at their strategy. They can bank on their fast bowlers. Yes, they do have high quality fast bowlers, but the important thing is that Faf du Plessis needs to read the pitches and needs to read his opposition in deciding a strategy as far as utilizing the fast bowlers more than the spinners. Yes, we can always keep arguing in hindsight, but RCB, despite the fact that they've had fantastic lineups all these years, somehow have not really gone on the entire distance. And their fans, like every year, will be hoping that this is the year that it is all going to happen. And we'll have to wait and see. what they do in the next game. Will there be a change in strategy? Will there be a change in the batting order? Will they change their strategy even on what it is that they're going to do when they win the toss? So let's wait and see. And all these tactical decisions will keep changing constantly and consistently because if a side has got to play 14 games prior to the knockout, they've got to try and get a hang of things in the first half and then try and peak around the second half and try and go the entire distance. So the RCB, they have the wherewithal, but what is it that they're going to do with their wherewithal is what is interesting as far as I'm concerned. And I'll be looking for keenly to see what it is that they do differently in the coming games. And that's it from me. And until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.